This is the Broadway Limited EMD SD40-2 with Paragon 3. Now, Paragon 3, as we've talked about before, is a subwoofer and receiver that supplements sounds. But let's see what you get in a box for the MSRP of $299.95. Going to unbox the locomotive. Operator's manual, over 27 pages of information, or 27 pages to be exact, including CVs, functions, maintenance, randomly activated sounds, you name it. It's in here. You can even write down your favorite settings for CVs. Exploded parts diagram shows you how the locomotive is really assembled, and if there's parts missing, it labels the parts with numbers, and you can order parts from Broadway Limited's parts department. A 1-year warranty is included, and there's a flyer for Choo Choo Shoes, which are Broadway Limited's. Kind of out of the box thinking that is out of the hobby, so not just hobbyists enjoy those. You got the locomotive here. It is taped plastic top, so we'll go ahead and release the tape here off screen and get this locomotive out of the box. Myself a nice little flap here. This is an SD40 locomotive that is really an SD40-2N. Got yellow sill on everything and a bunch of packaging that will once again keep you from having to watch. There she is in all her beauty. Every bit of packaging is now removed, and we're going to go over some details of the locomotive. Starting in the front, you'll notice 2 ditch lights mounted here. You've got coupler cut lever, snow plow, a metal coupler, spring-loaded, of course, on the nose. Well, first of all, let's talk about stanchions. Very stable. Got safety chain right there, white areas where crew would get on board. On the front, you do have nose, separately applied grab irons, a sand filler hatch, and grab irons all over the nose, really. And some molded in detail as well, including compartments. Battery box door on the side. On the front again, in the windshield, you can see the windshield wipers, which are a thin metal, nice correct thickness, I feel, not bulky by any means. Got a dual headlight and number boards. You have a horn, cab window sunshade. There is cab interior detail, just no figures. As we work our way back, you've got the dustbin hatch up here, lift rings, blower housing, dynamic brake fan area here, exhaust, and radiator fan grills on the back. Union Pacific on the side is printed nicely. You got the red stripe, it's printed nicely, and a lot of nice compartment detail. Yellow sill down below, which means this is a more modern Union Pacific locomotive, because the FRA had mandated yellow sill, yellow reflective striping on rolling stock and locomotives in more recent years, at least recent in terms of era, definitely on the more recent end of the modern era. Got some grading on the radiator fan grill area. You have a safety tread walkway all the way around. Nice truck detail as well. Larger platform on the back here, but more of the same detail, including coupler cut levers, the metal coupler that's spring loaded, and really durable stanchions there. Rear lights, dual beam LEDs, and adorned with separately applied grabs, including one on the top on the back of the radiator fan grill. So there you have detail. We do have the fuel tank detail as well, with the emergency shutoff, sight glass, and some fuel tank plumbing. Probably zoom in on that a little bit. You can also check out that beautiful bean footage of the truck detail as well. So overall, nice detailed locomotive, and you can get a pretty good price on it with discounts. There's one more quick view of the front before we go into operation next. All right, with Broadway Limited locomotives, you can start them one of 2 ways. Either just simply move the locomotive or hit F9, which I'm going to do so you can hear the startup sequence. if you've got subwoofers in your tablet, phone, TV, computer, wherever you're watching this, you can probably hear the rumble of the Paragon 3 sound. It is great in diesels. I really love it. Probably the product of the year for last year, in my opinion, or 2016, whenever it came out. We're going to listen to some sounds of this Paragon 3 decoder, starting with the bell. Horn. You can trigger the alternate horn by hitting F22 and then 2 again for the horn. There it goes. You have flashing ditch lights, which is not prototypically correct unless this specific version was a different road before, but I'm not sure if you can change that in TVs or not. There's also a lot of other sounds, coupler slack. You've got compressor ramping the diesel up and down manually with notching on F5 and F6. Radiator cooling fans, grade crossing horn, you name it. There's also, in the teens and lower 20s, a lot of background sounds. We'll trigger one of them right now. So radiator cab chatter, radio cab chatter, etc. All right, we're gonna move this locomotive next. Speed step out of 126. Just moving along very smooth. Hear the prime mover notch up there. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Along really smoothly. You can even see that handbrake molded in detail on the front there of the nose. I didn't cover in the going over some of the detail, but there's one in reverse.
Today we are practicing the government policy. Hurry up and wait.
There's 2. 3. 4. And 5. Locomotive was shaking a little bit in reverse on slow speeds, just something to note. Here you have front and back slow speed steps. We're going to do a pull test here.
Ready to go. Need a rundown on us over. You are equipped and you're coming off CS Charlie, right? CS Charlie.
2.4 ounces on the pull test. It's about 32 to 35 cars. Here's a close-up look at coupler height here. Go right up to it. Appears to be right on there, maybe a very, very tiny fraction low. You guys get the best look at this. I actually don't have the best look. That one looks to be a tiny fraction low. Gonna weigh the locomotive now. It's a meaty little guy. A little over 1.2 pounds. That's 1 pound, 3.3 ounces. 19.3 ounces total, 545 grams or 0.545 kilograms. Now that's going to do it for the product review of this locomotive. I'm going to leave you with a run by. I think it's a great locomotive. A little bit of vibration in the entire chassis on the way back in reverse in the first 5 speed steps, but I tested it off camera and it did smooth out, and MRA standards met on the wheel flanges as well. So again, I'll leave you with a run by the locomotive, pulling a few cars, and we'll see you next time right here on my channel. Take care.